Hey, it's Chris. I'm in Catalina Island getting ready to go back to Los Angeles and get back to work. I just came out here to sort of decompress for a little bit. And I was sitting here getting ready to sail and thinking about what's the next step, what's the next thing that I can, offer you guys in terms of advice or wisdom or knowledge or something that I can share with you that's going to help you with your recordings. I've been kind of on this recording bent lately. As you noticed, I sent you a bunch of blogs about my mix tips, and then forwarded you on to Bobby, who's like absolutely amazing. I saw a bunch of you jumped onto that. Congratulations, because Bobby is a wizard when it comes to that. So that's awesome. And today I wanted to talk to you about professionals. So I have a little story to kick it off with. When I was first starting out, I think I was, just starting to produce records and stuff like that. And I had no money or very little. And my wife and I went in to, talk to an accountant. We had always done our taxes ourselves. And we thought, you know what, we're going to just try an accountant, even though it costs money, because a friend of ours had talked us into doing it and said, try my accountant. He's really, really great. So we went and had a meeting with him and thought, okay, I guess it's worth it. We can do this on our own, but let's just try it. So we went in and we had a meeting, and he said, great, send all your stuff in. We did that, and then he called us back. And we went back and met him a couple of weeks later, and he was going through our stuff, and he said, let me get this straight. So you do what? And then I explained it, and he says, and you do what? And my wife explained what she does. And he said, look, this is perfectly above board. You should be in this column, and she should be in this column. And when you do it that way, you've just saved yourself $3,000 in taxes. Wow. He more than paid for himself, far more. So we were super impressed. And I have many, many other stories like that. And the ones you can relate to are going to your dentist or your doctor or your car mechanic or whatever, things that you're not going to do on your own. You take it for granted, right? Now, your music is also important. It's like the lifeblood of what you do. And it always astounds me sometimes when people don't hire professionals for things that they're not qualified for. I'm not talking about people who can't afford it. That's a totally different story. Not everyone has a budget to go out and hire people for different things. But I am a huge proponent of hiring people for things that can advance whatever you're doing in a massive way, because it's going to pay off. You're going to, just like the accountant paid off for me, it's going to pay you dividends in the future. So don't be afraid to say, you know what, I'm not that great at programming beats. I'm going to hire a beat programmer. I'm not that great of a mix engineer. I'm going to hire a mix engineer while I learn. And those things can really, really push you forward. And, so many people who do things at the top level, they usually have a team of people who are doing a bunch of things for them that are just super qualified at what they do, right? I mean, even if you had like a VA, like a virtual assistant, if they're really good at what they do, they are worth their weight in gold, right? Because they save so much time for you. You're paying them, but it all comes back, right, in the end. So anyway, I just wanted to talk to you about that briefly and just say, if you can afford it and you can identify, the first thing to do is sit down and identify the parts of your life or parts of your music in this case that could really use a professional. And I don't mean just, hire somebody for the sake of doing it, or if you're not ready. If you don't have your songs written yet, don't hire somebody, because it's not going to be effective, right? You're going to be paying money for nothing. You got to be ready to go identify the things that you think that are going to really benefit from having a professional, whoever that may be, and then go out and shop around. Don't just hire someone because of their resume. Go out and check out the music that they do, see if it matches, with what you're doing, and make sure they're within your budget. Vibe it out and carefully pick them, because they're also an investment, because you'll usually work with them more and more in the future as well. So that's all I really wanted to say. Nothing, too poignant here, but really kind of like a real elementary pitfall that a lot of people sort of fall into, where they try to do everything themselves. Now, they're good at some things. Maybe you're a guitar player and you're awesome on guitar. but you're trying to like play drums, and you're trying to, maybe you're not even a great singer and you're trying to sing. Anyone can sing, you got to practice, right? So in the meantime, hire a drummer, maybe get a session vocalist to come on and do that. Maybe form a band and get a great singer, right? Because then you're putting all of your talents together. So that's it. I'm not adverse to doing things on your own. I started out that way as an engineer. I kind of sucked and gradually got better and didn't listen to anybody, didn't go to school, didn't hire any professionals, but it took me a long time. It took me years to get there. And if you've got songs that are ready to go now and they're great songs, don't waste them on bad production. Fork over a little cash, time, whatever you've got to do, maybe a cut, or they'll work on spec, but give up something to work with a pro, and those songs will go so much farther and you'll be so much happier in the end, right? And lastly, I want to say, for those of you who are thinking like, well, I don't really have the budget, I don't have the time, when you think about all the things in your life that you do and the time that you waste and the money that you waste, and I'm included in here too, I'm not just talking about you, I do it all the time as well. If you set yourself some deadlines, or you set yourself some things that you say, I really want to do that, you spend your money on that instead of wasting it on whatever else you were going to waste it on, or the time that you were going to, instead of sitting in front of the TV one night, you're out doing something, that's going to move your music forward. So there's always more money and there's always more time within a limit, right? Within the context. But there's more than you think, because we all sort of waste time and waste money. So anyway, I hope you find some wisdom in that lesson. I learned it the hard way, and I'd like you to not have to do that. And hope you take it to heart, and let's move your music forward this week. Look into some pros that you might be able to hire or work with, on your music. Okay, have a great rest of your week, and we'll talk to you in the next one. And don't forget, leave a comment below and let me know maybe some experiences you had, like pros that you hired that maybe it was a good story or a bad story, and how you feel about what I just said, if you can relate. I'd love to hear it. I read all the comments and answer them all. All right, have a good one. Bye-bye.